story from Macomb City Hall. It is the 16th of October 2020. It's the latest update we have regarding the COVID-19 pandemic here in Macomb and McDonough County. The most important thing we want to share with you this right off the bat here during this time together is that we were notified a little earlier today by the Illinois Department of Public Health. The McDonough County had reached the warning level for the coronavirus disease, and let's go over what that means first and foremost. That along with 33 other counties in Illinois, and that actually is up from 26 last week, we unfortunately joined a growing list of counties that have several indicators, and we'll go over those here in just a minute, that have caused the Department of Public Health to, triggers that have caused the Department of Public Health to issue a warning and put us in a warning status. So let's talk a little bit about the details there. So first and foremost, there are several things that could trip this warning, and they vary, but for the most part, it revolves around an increase in positivity rating for the county, and also has to do with the number of cases per 100,000 population for us in particular. But here are the common factors that trip these indicators. They include an increase in total number of cases, an outbreak that it's associated with gatherings in people's homes, weddings, funerals, bars and clubs, university and college parties, as well as college sports teams, family gatherings, long-term facilities, and some other indicators, especially with people in their 20s. And those are broad indicators for all these counties, but you can see some commonality we share right here in Macomb and McDonough County with that. Of particular concern is that public health officials continue to observe businesses that are blatantly disregarding mitigation measures, specifically people not social distancing, gathering in large groups, and not using face coverings. They're asking for people like me in my position, as well as local law enforcement, state's attorney's office, and other community leaders to influence those citizens in becoming better at practicing those mitigation efforts. And again, at the risk of sounding redundant and like a broken record, these are all things that we can improve on, absolutely can improve on. And I know that many of you that are watching now have been very cognizant, very diligent in your efforts. It's now time to step up and encourage, I don't mean from a negative way, but positively encourage our local businesses, particularly customers that come into their businesses, regardless of their age, that they need to be social distancing and wearing masks. Now, one good thing is that the Macomb Area Chamber of Commerce, as recently as yesterday, sent out a very detailed letter of encouragement to individual business owners that belong to the chamber, encouraging them to do the right thing, step up, be adamant about their customers coming in to their establishments, adamant that they're welcome. Yes, we want them there. They want business. Those businesses want customers, but at the same time, they're trying to avoid this continued spread of this virus that is eventually possibly leading to other mitigation efforts that could set us back substantially. When I say us, I mean the entire community, businesses, further hurt by further restrictions. And we have the ability to control this right now, and that's what I'm encouraging you to be mindful of, and then do your best part in encouraging, in a positive way, compliance with your sphere of influence. Now, we're a growing number of counties that have taken some of this initiative, and some other things that we'll be undertaking. And I'll give you details about this in just a minute, but we're going to be increasing testing opportunities. Right now, it would appear that the majority of the people getting tested are likely carriers and or infected already. There's a high probability that they already suspect that they're either having symptoms or some other indicator has led them to believe that they have been exposed to COVID, and so the tests are merely just confirming that. What we need to do is get a better understanding of how widespread this is in the community by expanding testing opportunities and encouraging people to get tested. That would bring the overall positivity rating down. So to that extent, we want to remind you that the some other, and we'll get into those details in just a minute, I apologize. So we also want to remind you that the health department, for example, has hired additional tracing staff, and that we, when I say we, myself, the county board chair, other leaders in the community, the mayors of Bushnell and Colchester, for example, as well as the health department, ESDA, are working closely with our other partners, including Macomb schools, Bushnell schools, West Prairie schools, to address these issues as well. And we continue to meet twice a week. I think there's a likelihood that we'll start meeting more frequently as things continue to evolve. But for example, as it comes to testing, the information regarding the hours of operation at the McDonough District Hospital testing site are located on your screen now. We would also remind you that with an appointment, advance registration at CVS Pharmacy, located here in Macomb at the corner of Dudley and Jackson Street, call CVS. That information is on your screen now. You can be screened, tested at the CVS Pharmacy. And then starting next Monday, so next Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, the Illinois Department of Public Health, the State Department of Public Health, will be in McDonough County at several locations, and we'll give you that information here in just a minute, setting up mobile testing sites, fully self-contained, ran by Illinois Department of Public Health staff, and all the costs associated with that is borne by the state. There's no reason for you not to take advantage of the testing. So Monday and Tuesday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. This information is on the bottom of your screen now. Monday and Tuesday, next Monday, next Tuesday, 9 to 5, Western Illinois University Q lot at Tanner Hall. There'll be plenty of signs to direct you there, but Tanner Hall is located at the west end of Q lot. The opposite end from Western Hall is Tanner Hall. It's a residence hall. There'll be plenty of signs, people there to direct you. 9 to 5 next Monday and Tuesday. Then next Wednesday, 9 to 5, will be at Bushnell-Prairie City Schools. That information is available on the McDonough County Health Department website. And then Thursday, back here in Macomb, again, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Spoon River College Outreach Center, located at the corner of Bower Road and Jackson. East Jackson and Bower Road, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. next Thursday. A great opportunity for a lot of people in the community to take advantage of testing. You will get the results, and they won't be instant, but the Department of Public Health staff will tell you when to anticipate those results. The procedure is painless, and you should go get tested. Regardless of whether you think you've been exposed or not, it'll give us and the Department of Public Health a good understanding of how widespread the virus is here in McDonough County. And hopefully we'll bring the positivity rating down. We'll get back out of this warning. And just to explain to you what the tiers are related to the warning status. So going into the warning, it's our job, my job, the health department's job to continue to stress face coverings and social distancing. You're going to see this information like we're putting out right now, and highlight mitigation strategies, additional testing and updating of supplies to do those testing, not only at the hospital, but again bringing in the Department of Public Health's mobile testing team, and then meeting more frequently as community leaders to monitor the cases more closely. The next step, if we don't see a decline in our 7-day rolling average of positivity, there'll be some additional mitigation efforts placed on local businesses by the state of Illinois. Businesses will need to reduce indoor capacity as well as other spaces where people gather in close proximity. And should we not improve after that or get worse, then there will be added mitigation, again applied by the governor, that could include businesses suspending indoor activities. Those are things we just absolutely want to avoid. That is definitely stepping back the wrong way. And we're not even into the type of weather where this virus seems to thrive. That's when it's colder, we're all indoors. So again, I just cannot ask you more sincerely than I am now that the 3 steps we have talked about from the very beginning: social distancing, face coverings, and washing your hands. They are so basic. I'm going to be honest with you. I get it. It's tiresome to continue to have to deal with this, but this is what we need to do. It is relatively simple, but I also confess a little bit to you too that during the last couple of weeks I found myself even resisting what I know, and that I forget to wash my hands as frequently as I should have. It's now more than ever, remind yourself, reinvest in this, because again, for the foreseeable future, this is our best tool for mitigating this and keeping us from going further down the road to where we don't want or need to be. So we also want to share with you that the McDonough County Health Department flu shot clinic will be conducted on a week from now on the 24th of October. That information is available on their website, and that website information is available now as well. We also released through a news release earlier today, and you can find it on the Downtown Development website, the city's website, our guidance regarding trick-or-treating at the end of the month. So that's the 30th and the 31st of October. All that guidance is there, the hours, the times, what you do if you want trick-or-treaters to stop by, plus the additional guidance that we shared with you last time we had an opportunity to get together, the best practices from the Illinois Department of Public Health. And what we usually lead off with is numbers, and I'll get to that now. So as of this afternoon, 621 cases since the onset of this pandemic. 93 active cases now. I was talking to staff before we started this video, and if we'd have been in March talking about 93 active cases in McDonough County, we would have we know what we'd have been like. I would ask you to keep that in mind as we're talking about those simple things of washing your hands, social distancing, and reminding yourself that resisting the urge of large gatherings, especially as we look towards the holiday period. We can still meet, that's not what we're talking about, and we'll talk about that in more detail the closer we get to Thanksgiving, which will be here before we know it. But just means modifying things just a little bit and taking better care. So the positivity rating that we're currently looking at here in Macomb, just to give you an idea, or McDonough County, just to give you an idea of what we're up against here, just in this month alone. So the positivity rating that we started out with, for example, on October 3rd was 5.6. That's the 7-day rolling average. By the time we got to a week later, we were at 7.3. And as recently as the 13th of this week, some 3 days ago, 9.2. So in the matter of 10 to 12 days, we've nearly doubled in the positivity rating. So, and I would remind you that there's a decreasing number of these cases that are coming out of the university, for example, and an increasing number coming from the general population. So the day before, actually yesterday, we had no new cases out of the university testing, but 18 in the balance of the county. So again, we want to encourage you to continue, those of you that are doing the right things, to continue to do that. We've had a blast of cold air invade us here in the last 24 hours or so. It looks like that's going to be with us for the next week to 10 days for sure. And we know that this time of year, living in West Central Illinois, we can see a wide variation and fluctuation in weather in a matter of a few days. So doesn't mean that we don't have a chance for another warm spell. We'd all probably enjoy that, that's for sure. But the inevitability of fall and winter weather is going to be here. So again, heard Dr. Anthony Fauci from the CDC, the federal government, talking before we started this, talking about that's where this virus tends to thrive, is when we are confined indoors. So again, not saying that that's something just to dread, but we have the tools. The tools we have, we've talked about, and let's make sure that we're doing our very, very best. I think that's it for now. A lot of information. Would remind you too also that if, we need to take care of each other. We've gotten to the point where we think we need to remind you. We've had a series of, things happening in our society this year and in our community and our state over the last several months. Many of those things are taxing on us in our, not only our physical well-being, but our mental well-being. So as we've encouraged you to do in the past, check on those folks that are still homebound, that still have conditions that don't allow them to get out and interact as much as the rest of us are doing, and even those of us that still out there doing that are realizing the limitations in some cases we have as well. So check in with those folks. If you can do it safely, stop by, see them in person. If not, reach out to them by phone and we really need to think about being a more caring and compassionate community in general. We've got a lot of stress in our lives, so whether you're talking about race relations, political issues, we have an election coming up here in a few days. This is a time for us to unite, absolutely unite, as we battle this global pandemic called COVID-19. So until next time, thanks very much.